Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell, so you're notified when new videos drop. So, Chris Eccleston coming back to Doctor Who. Everyone's all a bit of a gog, all a bit excited. Listen, I like Chris Eccleston. I liked his 1 year as Doctor Who. I would certainly like to see him do more. I kind of fell in love with him over that first year. Well, I wasn't really that sure of him when I first saw his look. He seemed very, very not Doctor Who-ish, but still, I think the excitement and fury has somewhat taken me by surprise. So we have another interview with Chris Eccleston, this time in SFX magazine. I was like, oh, really, another one, and I was reading it over Sabbath. Yesterday was Sabbath, so I was offline. I was reading it, and I was like, oh, this is actually covering some new grounds. I think this is worth making a video about. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? And that includes if you don't like it, obviously. You can hit the like button, hit that share button, share me around, baby, and subscribe. Now, YouTube, those little scamps, they noticed my subscribers did quite well. They were like, no. I'm not even joking. They just whipped 10 subscribers off me, just like, you know why? For shits and giggles. Who cares? Let's just take them off. So if you're subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. It's so weird you have to say that to me. But if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, that really, that genuinely does help me. Thank you very much. And I am actually genuinely very, very grateful. Thank you. If you can do that, it'd be great. And if you want to be super fan, dabby, double dozy, also comment. Comment is good. But the best thing you do, the absolute best thing to do, because YouTube has demonetized my channel and they're not remonetizing it in the near future, but in my guess, go check out my Indiegogo. I've seen the preliminary for that final piece of artwork that I've been waiting on to win this campaign. I think it's coming out this week. I think we're going to see that final piece of art this week, so we could do that sprint to the finish. I'm quite looking forward to it, and then we'll be launching the next campaign. Now, so this is, I think you've got about a week left. I've been saying that for about a week. But now, really, I think genuinely you have a week. If you buy both campaigns, of course, you get all the extras, the For the Male Gaze cards. You can get these cards without buying the comics. But I want you to buy the comics, because they're pretty darn good comics. These are cards based on things that turned me on as a 12-year-old, and I have to tell you, things that turned me on as a 12-year-old still pretty much turn me on today. I'm not really a big changing guy. Those things still pretty much work. I mean, this card's still turning me on now, and I see it every day. Still turning me on. Now, if we hit $8 grand, I think we will. Everyone's going to get this poster. It's right now it's an add-on. It's extra $3 called Bohemian and Time and Space. We also have The Eyes Have It, and then we have Great Balls of Fire. We're going to have one more poster coming out, which is what I'm waiting for to end the campaign with. Fine. So let's look at this interview. Yes, another interview with Chris Eccleston. Oh, he looks a bit dour, doesn't he? See, that's the problem with Chris Eccleston. And all this pre-publicity, he's not very fun and or charismatic. Okay, that's basically where I am with it now. After watching quite a few interviews with him, he's not very fun or and or charismatic, which is I think fun and charisma are two things kind of needed to play the Doctor. I mean, not William Hart. I wouldn't call him fun, although he was playful. He was way more playful than Eccleston. But that playfulness and the fun has basically been there all the way through. Apart from Eccleston. Now, Eccleston was cast as against type. Crossley Davis at the time said, I don't want it to be like a posh doctor. I want him to be like a man of the people or something of the. And it worked, but it didn't. He's very, very different from the other doctors. But I last week I watched the Big Finish put out question and answers with him, to promote the upcoming box that he's doing, and they're like, if you could go anywhere in space or time, because anywhere at all. And I'm reminded of the Matt Smith, that first Matt Smith season promo. If you ever seen it, it's really good, where he goes, anywhere in time or space, Amy Pond, anywhere we can go forward. It's just gonna be awesome. So I'm reminded of that, him offering the entirety of the universe to Amy Pond, and she decides to it. And Christopher Eccleston went off with the same choice. Christopher, where would you go? Anywhere in time and space. He said, Salford. Really? Salford? Absolutely. Salford. Anywhere else? No. Salford, 1930s. Anything else you want to go? maybe Salford in the 1920s, maybe Salford in the 1960s. I mean, he's really in to go to Salford. But yeah, I think that's pretty indicative of Chris Eccleston. Not that much fun, right? Again, the keys to the infinity of time and space. He could see, the singing trees of Babylon. He could see whatever. He could see go anywhere. Salford. And that's kind of like the dour approach that we're getting from him, right? And also, listen, I mean, I'm sure they're paying him well. He keeps, we'll talk about in the interview. He keeps talking about maybe they could have gone crazy and got to shave his beard off and take some new photos. I don't know, get him a leather jacket. Wouldn't that have been nice? Yeah, no, not so much. Okay, one second. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let's see. Start talking over here. The excitement should come with a little surprise. It is, after all, one of those TV roles that stays with an actor forever. Something that he didn't consider when offered the part in 2004. Yeah, this is something I totally got from Eccleston so far, in that he's like, I got a job of work, me. I'm going to do the work and get it done. He's like, he approaches acting in the same, and again, there's a plus and minuses to it, but with the same kind of work ethic and detachment as a bricklayer. I'm going to work, doing my job, going home. I'm not overly thinking the bricklaying, and he thinks about it about as much as he has to. So yeah, his answer is, I didn't overthink that. Really, Christopher? Who could have seen that coming? I didn't overthink that. By the time I played the Doctor, I've been acting professionally 20 years. I'd achieved quite a level of recognition with things like Our Friends at North, Let 'Em Have It. It was a Let 'Em Have It. I didn't know that. Jude, Shallow Grave. So I was really used to the public figure aspect of it, particularly in Britain. You go to other countries, but it's in Britain where for the Doctor it gets really feverish. Well, it was pretty big in America for a while, but never mind. So it wasn't that much of adjustments for me. I was just kind of used to it. What was nice about it was having friends, having always acted for adults in Our Friends and Cracker. Freaking love Cracker. I think Cracker is perhaps one of his best things after others. And things like that was to connect to a younger audience. And again, it's like, I just imagine Chris Eccleston's like Stofers going, we're all gonna die one day. To the children, like, he's not a happy camper. He doesn't have the Matt Smith bouncing enthusiasm, right? He's like, whoa. That was one of the reasons I went for it, to make it something that didn't patronize the younger audience, that appealed. Yeah, that's very true. I really wish Jodie Whittaker would take a leaf out of the book here, because I find her performance very, very patronizing. Very talking down, but she talks down to everybody. It's not just kids, everybody. At the same time as being portrayed as the most useless Doctor. It's a really weird combination they went for. But yeah, go figure. That appeal, because we know children are far, far more intelligent than adults. I wouldn't say far more. I normally talk to children in the same way I talk to adults. I mean, a little bit cleaner, obviously. A little less pondering on boobies. Other than that, I've always spoke to children, same as that, which makes my wife crazy. She's like, no, they're not adults. No, but I guess it's just one of our differences we had. So I wanted to act for a more discerning audience. I can hear that. Were there any deal breakers in place for the comeback, they ask him. No, he says flatly, as he says everything. Look at that face. That face is a face that says things flatly. Although everybody tells me, what's that new thing he's in? What was it? The something word. I can't remember what it was. The something word. He's supposed to be quite funny in that. Never seen it. No, I just try to be prescriptive with the writers. I just wanted to look at the script to get a general, fine, so he said this a lot, get a general sense of the quality, and it's very high. Listen, that actually makes me very excited, about this, because I look, for all his dourness, I do think Eccleston can smell a good script. I think that's the, given his utter lack of charisma, and warmth, I think his ability to smell a good script and perform it very, very well is perhaps why he's so successful. So that actually is very exciting. I think it was the Met Shadow and Doctor Who. Yeah, so now we're getting to why I'm not as excited, because he talks about how he basically, now it comes out how much he doesn't understand Doctor Who, and he basically says anybody who can write a Doctor Who story that feels like Doctor Who, they're doing magic. They're doing impossible magic for me. I think the main challenge writing for Doctor Who, you have to be able to deliver techno speak. I don't mean acting it, I mean writing it. It's not that hard. You have to put you have to put in place a central idea, and you have to condense that into a very small period of time, be it for audio or television. You have a narrative along which you have to and you have to do all that's with levity, which I imagine doing things with levity is painful. So that's me a leap of imagination with somebody who has made, for instance, with the Berryman ritual in Edinburgh. See, I don't know what the Berryman ritual in Edinburgh is. It doesn't sound fun. All the points of references are not that much fun. And yoking that up with Cybermen. Okay. This is Cybermen sound fun. I always find myself lost in admiration of writers when they first make that leap, and they have to sit down and do all the nuts and bolts of, technically achieving it. I think I get the feeling that he finds his job the easy bit. Like, the working things out, that's what the writers do, and that seems pretty tough. But the actual just saying the words once they've been written, he's like, yeah, I can do that. I just stand there and say the bloody words. No problem. I want to go to Salford. Okay, I do hope they have a story in Salford. It sounds like that one. He wants to do a whole box set in Salford through the ages. I've been so humbled, really, by the writers on this. People who have decided that I'm a good actor because I work with great writers. Now, Chris, you're actually a good actor. I have to say, listen, for all my taking the piss at you, you're a pretty darn good actor. I mean, and you don't overthink things, but everything's very instinctual, and your instincts are pretty much perfect. I mean, on that, yeah, I would say. I think your weakest acting. I think Chris's weakest acting has been on when he's been forced on projects that he really doesn't want to do, but he needs to work. I don't think he liked the script much for Thor 2. I don't think that. Oh, G.I. Joe. I don't think either of those were his like, I'm happy doing this. No, he looked awful during those. So don't bother. They make you look better. Metaphorically slipping back into a battered leather jacket. Oh God, that's the other thing when he asked him, do you still have your jacket? He said, no, I don't know where it is either. Yeah, okay, because I'm not a particularly sentimental person. We've noticed, mate. We've noticed. I don't think actors are, actors are insanely sentimental about themselves mainly. They're used to being dumped and kicked out and rejected. So I'm very unsentimental. No, it sounds like you're sentimental and emotional. You've just been rejected many times as part of acting, so you've had to grow calluses over that. I don't really feel. What don't you really feel? I don't really feel anything other than huge. Well, there we go. Then huge gratitude to be working during the pandemic, right? So they asked him, why you return now, Chris? And Chris, you could sugarcoat it a bit. He says I'm broke. I need money. He said it right here. Listen, I've got huge financial pressures on me like everybody else. Yeah, I know that, mate. I tell you, Corona seemed kind of fun at the time. Now I'm staring down the barrel of the post-Corona world, and it's a bit scary. And suddenly be working, being created, to have somewhere to go, to be communicating with people. It felt very privileged in that. But I was surprised how quickly my connection with the character reemerged. It didn't seem like you overthought it in the original run, right? I have to say, my biggest fear with this run is that there was a real character arc for Eccleston's Doctor in that season, where he went from PTSD, very, very bruised and hurt, to ready to live life again. And now he's I think he's back in the ready to live life again, but it's set before Rose. So like, I do hope at some point they do a prequel to Rose, which shows you how he got back to the set. You know, they did something similar with Blake Seven at the end of season 3 of Blake Seven. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. It's what 40 odd years ago. At the end of season 3 of Blake Seven, their spaceship blows up. You know, which is like a central part of. Or Blake Seven. So those are very clever people over at Big Finish. People making these audio dramas. They did a whole like 2 seasons, like 2 seasons of Blake Seven just before that final episode where the ship blows up. Where essentially they give you a lot more information on why the ship was so weakened by the time it got that final episode, and it really works. So I hope they do the same thing. I hope they do the same thing with Chris. But then again, it does sound like, you know, if he's got more work on, he's be like, yeah, no, I'm out. Although I do get the feeling he does have, you know, like I think I do have a feeling like once he's done a whole bunch of them, maybe he'll want to do more. He's built the connections up with Nick Briggs and Big Finish. And, you know, the whole, like, filming going. Maybe he's going to feel some gratitude for having this work in, like, you know, middle of dead time. But the vibe I got is they're certainly, like, they're both partners. Big Finish and Eccleston are both excited to move on and do more. I remember commenting to director Nick Briggs, I'm not angsty. You're nothing but angst, okay? I watch you and I'm like, I feel angsty afterwards. I don't just... I don't worry about things. All instincts. Okay, and I just pick it up and start doing it. And one of the issues with the wonderful Wilfredo, his audio. See, I know more about this now because this is like the 3rd or 4th or 5th interview I read. Is keeping me still. Yeah, okay, we've heard all this before. Blah 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 blah. Rothelda, straight jacket, yeah, okay, actors are bad. So basically saying he approaches acting in the same way a bricklayer approaches bricklaying. I go in, I pick up the bricks, I do my job. I go in, I pick up the script, I read it. That's my job. I got to make it seem like I'm authentically saying the words on the script, and that's my job. I got to make sure the wall is straight. You know, if I'm a bricklayer, it seems to be exactly the same, you know, like attitude to work. And honestly, I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. It's just kind of different. Fans shouldn't expect the character of the Ninth Doctor to deviate much from the initial stories from what was established on screen. Well, again, there was that tight character arc, and I think they're focusing this towards the characters who saw them at the end of the season rather at the beginning. But like, as I said, hopefully they'll have a prequel to Rose. I would have thought they would. No, I think there's a great deal that's familiar. I think it goes across all 13 incarnations. Well, if it depends. Are the 13 incarnations the ones including John Hurt or Jodie Whittaker? You know, I think I can certainly see a strong through line with everybody apart Jodie Whittaker, and I'm sorry to rank on her. I really am. But you know, okay, let's see. If I think after watching all of it, basically everybody's Doctor, if all 13 actors have these roles. All 13 incarnations, he's enigmatic. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is not enigmatic. I would say, is Christopher Eccleston Doctor enigmatic? Yeah. He's enigmatic for Christopher Eccleston. He's charismatic for Christopher Eccleston. And again, Jodie Whittaker, no. John Hurt, yeah. Totally enigmatic and charismatic, right? He's mercurial, cheeky, brave, iconoclastic, and all those things are in place. Yeah, again... listen, I appreciate that he's done some thought into the role, and all that is correct, right? I think that's all that is entirely great. I only wish that Jodie Whittaker did the same thing. We tend to so far to stay away from the darker aspects of the Ninth Doctor's backstory, the Time War. He's traveling alone, which is interesting and freeing. I think it's a good idea for this, for what we're doing, for me to be free. You know what would be a really interesting story, again, if you want to do a prequel to Rose, where he finds himself back in the Time War, the time-locked Time War, somehow. You know, they kind of did that with... well, not the Time War, they did that, but he broke a time lock in Time Lord Victorious. Really annoyingly, for no reason. Like no reason they explained at all. Where we go. Time was yeah. He's going. So I think it's a good idea for what we're doing for me to be free. That's probably what he said. Like, don't bog me down with continuity. So his emotional connections are formed on the Huth rather than having an ongoing one particular system. I mean, that would be kind of interesting if they have that as a thread through the. Through these box sets, that he's too scared, like he can't take an assistant on yet, right? Rose will be the first person he's able to do that for. That I do like they did that in the War Doctor sets with John Hurt, and them refusing to use the name the Doctor. I would hope that is. I hope they mention these things, which I think are kind of important. But anyway, I think we got about under a month away. I am quite excited. He's kind of flying blind. He's questioned about that, and now he's questioned about that now and again. He brushes off. There are things that are within the stories he doesn't want to talk about, and maybe that will be the opportunity to rise. Face further down the line. Yeah, but I do get the feeling this initial set of 12 stories are all going to be pretty much standalone-y. The Doctor being doctorish, without too much navel gazing. If the character hasn't changed much, what about Eccleston himself? Has anything changed about the way changed in the years since impacted the way he plays the Doctor now? Well, that's a pretty good. Because see, that's a good question. That's probably why I decided to do this video. I think there we go. There, I should do it. There we go. No. Backwards and forward. I could just make this wider. Maybe I'll make it wider. Does that work? We go down one. Okay, here we go. Yes! Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. Has anything changed in your life about the way you play Jackson? No, I can't think of anything. I became a father in 2012 and 2013. I had a breakdown in 2015-16. Really? That doesn't inform your portrayal? Everything. No, I'm going to work. It's again. You don't have to be quite so bricklayerish about this. So I'm sure that doesn't inform me, but I can't get a handle on it. Basically, I think he was turned around and said, I'm not just making up the words. I read the words somebody writes for me, right? To be honest with you, I did feel I'm doing him. To be honest with you, I feel when I'm doing him, I feel exactly as I did 16 years ago. I really do. A lot of people who return to Doctor Who say that they slip exactly in effortlessly. Perhaps I slightly finesse things, and I tend to work at speed, so I can't really get outside that. What's nice about it is that feeling of freedom when I'm playing and play that I had on set 16 years ago. Wasn't 16 years ago when you were like, didn't you leave because you absolutely hated it? It didn't seem that playful. It's there again. It's so necessary. His playful, energetic persona and character. As somebody was saying that about Tom Baker. Yeah, Tom Baker was a little bit fluffier than you, mate. It was a little bit, charismatic. Tom Baker, where do you want to go? He that would be a 2-hour answer, and it will be funny and interesting and diverse, and take you across the universe and back again. It wouldn't be Salford. It's really not an actor role. I think there's something in that. Yeah, Tom Baker's not an actor. Although I think he's being a bit self-effacing when Tom Baker says that. It was an acting role. That's what I think. It's not an acting role, and there's you don't want the character to change, right? You want the character to remain that character because you love that character. You have to be reactive, be in the moment. That's I think the most. Ninth Doctor thing, reactive and being in the moment, and there's no constraints about character. There's nowhere he won't go that lends itself to regeneration, leads to the characters being endlessly reinterpreted and reinvented by other writers. Russell Lee Davies writes a Doctor as one Doctor, Stephen Moffat writes him out another, Rob Shearman writes him, and he's another. A bit of a boys' club, though. We need to address that. Stop! Oh, don't be normie. Yeah, okay, the reason why Doctor Who writers is a bit of a boys' club, right? The reason why isn't because women have been gatekeeped out of writing Doctor Who. In fact, they're actively, especially with Big Finish, they're actively almost press gagged in. You know, like anybody who could vaguely write does get a Big Finish job nowadays. Who's a woman? Trouble is though, when you're pulling from, I would say, a small section of your writing pool, which is what happens when you say you want to address women. Yeah, you want to have women writers. You end up by getting a lower quality sampling. It's like, if you have 100% of people you can pull from, and you pull the best out of those people, you're going to get higher quality than if you have 20 to 30%. You pull the best out of those people. It's just the way it is. It's called math. It's called math. I'm all for equality of opportunity. I think we all should have equal opportunities. This equality of outcome nonsense leads to garbage, which is exactly what we see. So and I'm not sure. Do I agree with him about Russell T Davies writing one Doctor and Stephen Moffat writing another and Rob Shit? I don't think I do. I think they all basically have this similar character. We need some more cyber women. Have you ever seen Cyber Woman? It was in Torchwood. It was awful. It was Christopher Eccleston's first smear stain. Skid mark on the world of Doctor Who, as I recall. It wasn't very good. We need female writers. Oh God, it's so painful. Oh, it's so painful. Oh, yes. Okay, again. If you can show me how any female has been gatekeeped out of writing Doctor Who, I'm all with you, mate. I don't think anybody should be gatekept out of it. Again, when you go for equality of outcome, rather equality of opportunity, you get low quality. That's what, that's exactly what happens. And the reason Doctor Who has more male writers is because Doctor Who is what's called a male brand. It appeals more to boys. Now, what I'm saying right now is deep heresy in 2021. They're saying that boys and girls are different, because boys and girls are different. I'm sorry, they are. They fundamentally have different ways of perceiving the world and playing. An example that I've used many times is that boys imagine themselves as the hero, right? When they see the power just flickered off for a second. Fortunately, this isn't a live stream, and I can keep going. Boys basically see themselves, take the characteristics of a hero on themselves. That's why you have masculine heroes that have very defined character traits, like Han Solo. The boys want to imagine that they're those characters, whereas girls want to imagine those characters are them. So, girls' characters often have kind of blank slates that girls can imprint themselves upon them. So it's a fundamentally opposite way of seeing it. But anyway, Doctor Who, generally speaking, works best when it's made for 8-year-old boys, right? Much like Star Wars, much like Star Trek, when it's made for 8-year-old boys. That means you're going to get a bunch of girls who like it, right? Because nothing's universal, right? But you are going to get a bunch of girls who like it, but it's going to be a smaller percentage, because girls basically like My Little Pony over Doctor Who, and that's the way it's always going to be, right? Girls basically want Barbie over G.I. Joe or Action Man. And that's not because they look like them. It's not because they look like them. It's because it's a fundamental different nature. And I understand in 2021, that is a verboten idea that you should never, ever say, especially in public. Whoops, I just did that. So, Chris, I just think it's utter nonsense what you're talking about here. So we need some more Cybermen, and we need female writers. You got as many as you want, as you can take, and they're mostly garbage. I'm sorry. It needs to be addressed. It is, particularly as Doctor Who has such a pronounced, for want of a better phrase, feminine side. I get, just leave it to the natural marketplace. And again, if you want to show me how women have been gatekeeped out of writing, I'm there with you, my brother. But they haven't. So you're talking nonsense. Feminine side, and it does have a very feminine side. I do agree with you. and such an enthusiastic engagement with the female. Okay, God, what the female? It's like Davros leaving, talking about it. As X mentioned on set, has a project evoke feelings of nostalgia. Definitely for the creativity I experienced with actors like I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Simon Callow. There's a picture of him right there. Richard Wilson, for instance, and Simon Callow, Penelope Wilton. It always kind of annoys me when actors talk about what a wonderful time they're having making their whatever it is they're making. Yeah, I care about me as a consumer having a good time experiencing it. And if you having a good time making it facilitates that, groovy. Fan dabby double dozy. I love it. But if it doesn't, and from what I can tell, you being happy or sad or enjoying the creative process makes no difference to you because you treat acting like a bricklayer. I come in, I say my lines, I go home. Okay, that's basically it. The crew I've worked with, blah, 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 on, say, grafting, making it, the excitement and creativity, but I'm not a nostalgic person. No, that would be warm and fuzzy in some way. It's a good trait in Doctor. He forget instantly, and he is always in the moment and looking forward. See, I don't think that does work for the Doctor. I think I think what makes the character interesting are those deep emotional connections he makes. I believe the Fourth Doctor loves Sarah Jane, right? I believe the Fourth Doctor genuinely loves Sarah Jane. I believe the Third Doctor genuinely, and not a romantic love. It's much. I think it's a deeper, more platonic love. But I think the Third Doctor loved Jo. I think the Doctor, generally speaking, likes and loves his companions. And I think that dichotomy, that tension, that he is an alien out of time and space, really is one of the things that makes Doctor Who sing. The Doctor Who can also be steeped in nostalgia, and some days that can be difficult to get away from. Yeah, I couldn't agree. And it's not like that. It's not like he's not like that. That's the tension. There's a great love for the traditional, the Daleks, the Cybermen, for an 8-year-old child who has never turned the program on. It's great to meet the Doctor, but if he meets a new alien, that alien will become as exciting as the Dalek. I think you proved that with the Slovene, right? That your first season, your only season, proved that. And I think that's where the series is got to be very careful about indulging the fanboy. I think Russell Davies really nailed it, more so in the second season than the first, where it was like 70 to 80% new material, 20 to 30% returning classics. And I think that's a great balance, and I really think that balance should really be the template moving forward. Because it works. It just kind of works. I think Ian Moffat kind of used that template as well. And again, he wants to meet new things. We want writers to be given the opportunity to create their own aliens, their own situations. Again, but balance. When asked, are there any other characters or monsters that he would like to appear with, after a long pause, I'm going to guess no. I'll just do what the script says. I don't. How did I call that one? Who knows? He begins to answer and trails off. It's quite like I'd quite like a writer to come up with something that becomes as iconic as a Cyberman. I think the Slovene, but something to come as iconic as a Cyberman needs to have a very visual element. Otherwise, look, there've been a couple of great Big Finish monsters. The Galliari Clutch, they're kind of like these mini dinosaurs on this giant floating, ever-changing space station. I like those. The Eminence were really cool. But yeah, I think for this to be really iconic, you're going to need that visual element. I like to meet. I like to meet the Cyberwoman, for instance. Okay, go and watch Torchwood. It's garbage. It's really garbage. When you have a gay man's ex-girlfriend, I who's black, wearing a Cyberwoman with heels. I don't know. It was a bad episode. It was not a good episode. I think the Doctor dealing with Cyberman would be interesting. I love the I love the use, for example, of the Berryman, the Scottish pagan figure. I love, oh God, yeah, because it doesn't sound fun. I love all of that. I love when new things are introduced. I love when I like to be part of establishing a real terrifying creature for the Doctor again. Again, I think you did that with this Levine. So again, but you won't be able to do it in these ones because it's a prequel. It's before that. He doesn't recognize them. So again, it's not about looking back for me. It's about looking forward and endlessly reinventing him and experiencing and the freshness and immediacy. Listen, I see that is your Doctor, and I think that's it makes your Doctor, it makes the Eccleston Doctor very, very different. It's out the mold, but I think it's just inside the envelope that it hasn't ruined it, hasn't torn it up. Big Finish Dove have everyone for taking something and going somewhere completely new with it. They've done brilliant with the Cyberman he enthuses. So the Cyberman story is going to be good then. We've had a storyline where the Cyberman is not completely cybered up and the struggle with it. It's not. That's not really new ground, mate. Look, you're a normie. What can I say? By the way, I think something that's most exciting me about this range are these covers. They really, really do look fantastic. Chris, take some new photos, mate. Take some new photos. Cybermen empathy and for the Cybermen and empathy for humanity. That was brilliantly portrayed yesterday by an actor called Eleanor Lewis. Oh, so it sounds like you do have a cyber woman then. She is doing parts of Nick Briggs has been doing that kind of Cyberman battling within himself, and there's also the return of the Brigadier, and that was a great emotion between him and the Doctor. Yeah, I think it's going to be an older Brigadier as well, which I'm quite excited about. It's post-Battlefield from what I understand, which I think the fans will enjoy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. By the way, John Coltrane's Brigadier, absolutely perfect. Just absolutely perfect. There's a real purity for. There's a real purity, unusual for Englishness from in the male relationship. The male relationship very fondly expressed, quite sentimental, in the best way. So the Brigadier is back, Cyberman. So there are things we can as well. I think what's great is you take something that say something like that, but then explore it and expand it. What I think is going on is they knew the first box set will sell because on Christopher Eccleston. 100% they know it's going to sell Christopher Eccleston. The third, and probably the second one too. By the time you get the third one, you're going to need a bit more oomph. You're going to need a bit more. So I think that's why they're putting Cybermen in one and the Brigadier in one too. Because bums on seat, baby, bums on seats. I think you're pleasing a new audience and the more traditional one. There is no new audience for this. Okay, this is pre-existing Doctor Who fans. This is Big Finish. This is not people casually catching it on TV. Another Doctor that later made peace with reprising role was Tom Baker. Does this mean, like him, that a long range of Big Finish could follow? I get a feeling, yeah, okay? Like, he's got to have time in his schedule, but I get a feeling, yeah. I would hazard a guess that Tom never had a problem with playing the Doctor. I would hazard a guess that he did, mate. I would hazard a big guess. Okay, he went out from the recording Logopolis and got a haircut, right? Got his haircut really short. And next time we saw him, he was a horny vicar, as I recall, having sex with Patricia Hodge. Now, listen, I can understand somebody wanting to have sex with Patricia Hodge, especially in the mid-80s. Like who wouldn't want to do that? But Tom Baker's bum bouncing up and down. That was BBC Two at 9:00 was very, very disturbing. For a young rabbi here, he wanted to get away from the role. He was very, very done with the role, right? And he let a Nimoy for a while. Yeah, so I would hazard a guess he did have problems with playing the Doctor, right? I think he did. There's no obstacle, I think, between Tom and the Doctor and me and the Doctor, none whatsoever. So, what's the deal about you not mentioning or doing anything or getting involved in fandom in any way? There was an obstacle. Don't take a pill on my doorstep and call it chocolate, mate. We know reality. It's clear. It's just the positive in your life at the time. It's positive enough at the time playing it, and when you're knocking about the streets, it's entirely positive. I think there's a much bigger audience for Tom. Yeah, he gave us 7 years, and again, a little bit more charisma. But no, listen, there's a huge excitement for Chris Eccleston. Absolutely huge excitement. Gave his life to, was it millions of fans he's done at Icon Series. I mean, I did 13 episodes, but 13 very important episodes. 13 episodes which redefined and reinvented Doctor Who. So whether there'll be a demand for more Ninth Doctor after this is questionable. Honestly, listen, the thing with Big Finish is you've got to make good stories that aren't preaching to you. And the quality of the stories have dropped over the last year a lot. Why? Because you're addressing that pesky, quality of outcome of having, an equal amount of female writers, which means they've had a lot of crap. Which means I'm not buying as much anymore, right? You can't have those two things go together. There's so many things I haven't pre-ordered this year from Big Finish, which I would have done had it not been garbage. Like the one that hurt the most was Stranded, because I followed the Eighth Doctor series of adventures right from the beginning, right? And this strand started with Dark Eyes. It's a long time, a long investment. I had to get out because it's really a platform. Stranded is platforming rather than entertainment. I'm not interested in it whatsoever. And then there's the Sixth Doctor and the 11th set. I don't trust you. I saw a bunch of first-time female writers on it. Yeah, I said there's Missing Adventures, first-time writer. I am sorry. You've had first-time female writers a lot, and mostly it's been bad, right? Mostly it's been bad. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm all for giving new talent a crack, because you don't get new talent, you get stale. So I'm really into new talent, but this pulling new talent from a very, very small section of your potential talent base means the quality will drop. So yeah, it depends. Are you going to drop the quality? Then in that case, there won't be a demand. I think there'll probably be a demand for another 3 or 4 box sets after this, but who knows? I mean, if it's really platforming, probably not. It really depends on how they sell. It's a business. They're selling fine, mate. This first box set's selling fine. As if a set there, and if, as a set, they're well received, the audience wants more, and Big Finish wants to do more, and we can reach an agreement. If you can pay me, I don't think on. Okay, yes, I'm open to it. Yeah, of course, but I can't compare. With Tommy Laughs. In terms of my reach. Not that we'll be brave enough to square up with Chris Eccleston, but it'll be remiss of it enough to point out the generation of fans he brought Doctor Who a new fan base. Well, yeah, that's basically what we're saying. It was the tip of the iceberg. He bats back. It was Russell D. Davies and his fellow writers. Listen, I like that he's being gracious. And I like that he has humility. I think it's really fantastic. I think it's really fantastic in a person. But also, I think you need to take a bit of credit with credit. I mean, maybe not take pride, but take pleasure. Take pleasure in the good job that that they did. But thank you, I appreciate it. Well, sir, any more questions? I remember was it? But what does being the Doctor mean to him? I remember walking around Talbot Centre in 2005 as the series was being broadcast. A woman came up to me and said, would you mind saying hello to my son? And he walked up to me and said hello and burst in tears. He was 35. I'm joking. He deadpans everything, right? He deadpans everything. So yeah, listen, I mean, we have these the insanity of our day that we believe that certain people have been disenfranchised and held back because of their gender or skin color, and so there is like this push to give these people who haven't really experienced disadvantage in writing an advantage in writing, and I think it's really
Doctor Who in a big way. Yeah, and also big finish. So here he ends up with this one story. I was mobbed at Manchester Airport at one point by a group of school children. It means the same thing. I'm a runner, and when I'm not running, I'm out walking. And when I'm being stopped, it's been going for 16 years, and it'll go on till the day I die. And I've always welcomed it. So it means the same. It means the same in terms of my relationship with the people who love it. It means the same. It's always there and a positive in my life. Well, listen, I'm glad. I'm sure it probably is a positive in your life. Listen, all I can say is this. It's like I'm looking forward to these box sets. I really hope they're not platforming. I really hope they don't. Nobody listens to Eccleston's idiotic and insane idea that women are not welcome in Doctor Who writers, and so he doesn't try and redress that balance, right? I really hope that doesn't overtake, because otherwise these could be quite good. My guess is, okay, my prediction for what it's going to be, they're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Not stellar. That's going to be my guess. I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. There you go. So we don't have. They're going to be coming out from the 13th of May. Whoa, that's an exclusive. 1 second. I think we just need to zoom in on that, because they never tell you the release date until there. 13th of May. So I'm recording this on April 25th. We are 18 days. Well, it sounds like 18 days out. If you can't see it, we are 18 days out. Okay, 2.5 weeks. Till we find out what's going to be with Christopher Eccleston's return to Doctor Who. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, and you're Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.